let's do it.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to We're Dying Down Here. This is the first episode we have not done in Club 337 because we're in beautiful Shreveport, Louisiana.
On location in Mark Normand's hotel room.
Mark Normand's hotel room.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, settle down.
Room
Sorry.
69.
Room 69. There's 12-year-olds.
What?
It's a baker's dozen. Sorry. But no, we're here, me and Tyler.
I needed those Girl Scout cookies.
That's right. Thin mints, am I right? We're here in Shreveport. We did the Strand Theatre tonight. Tyler was up first, then I middled, and then I think you headline. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
We should have switched it around.
I know JP looks like a bottom, but he middled tonight.
Yeah.
ZZ right. Bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Mark, how are you?
Hey, good. We did a good run. We drove 6 hours from Birmingham.
6.5.
6.5. We stopped for barbecue.
Yeah.
Ooh. And, this has been great. 2 killer shows. Yeah. And Shreveport. Who knew? It was a banger.
Yeah. Me and Mark and Will Foskey did Birmingham last night. Killer, beautiful theater. God.
Oh, yeah.
What a beautiful theater.
Beautiful theater, bad town.
Well, all right.
And ugly town.
Hey, follow us, Birmingham.
Yeah.
And then we drove in today, and Tyler met us, and then we did the Strand Theatre here in lovely Shreveport. Mm-hmm. What a hot crowd.
So many white people, too. Was there more white people tonight or last night?
Probably tonight. Well, they drove in from the burbs.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like, these towns, the downtown area tends to be very urban, and then you go out and it gets a little more honky-fied.
I saw them one time at Lollapalooza, honky-fied.
Oh, yeah.
Second stage. They were great. All right. So, Mark.
But we had black people there at the show.
Yeah.
There was one. I saw one.
They were cleaning, but they were there. I'm joking. No, we had a couple POCs.
Thank you for tuning in to We Might Be Canceled. So let's bring it back to Lafayette, which we're not there, but you've done Lafayette Club 337 numerous times, multiple times.
So
right
many.
out of COVID, you did 5 shows in 2 days.
Oh,
I remember
is that right? Wow.
Yeah, because we're like very limited capacity.
Yeah.
We had you back in maybe 2016 or 17 was the first one. We had you one more time after that. Then we had you 3 days before you did Out to Lunch.
Oh, that's right. I had to run that hour.
Yeah,
It was like a quick one, right? That was the last minute one?
No, that was kind of in advance. And then we and then COVID shut everything down. Then we had you a couple times. We had you after COVID. We did those 5 shows in 2 days. And then we had you at least 2 more times. We did
I love
maybe
that
3.
Room. That was the best room in Louisiana. I always say, love that room. JP kills it. Well, it's run by a comic, so you know what to do. Plus, at the DoubleTree, you get free cookies.
Yeah.
And the only thing good about COVID shows were it was limited capacity, so you could sell out.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, look at me, I sold out a show. And you're like, well, there's 40 people here.
Yeah. It's
spread out.
2 people wearing masks and an umbrella. But
yeah, right.
No, those were great. And we had you this year. That was the last minute show.
Yeah, it was quick, right? It was like a week or two.
It was right before the
up.
special, right before the Netflix special.
Oh,
you were
soup
running.
to nuts.
Yeah. So we did 2 shows in one night. That was bonkers.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. And so Soup to Nuts on Netflix, great special.
Hey, thanks.
I'm a Tuesdays with Stories nerd.
Hey, it's all
Tuesday.
I'm a Tuesday, 2 straight, and then We Might Be Drunk, which is amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love that
well,
podcast.
it's real comedy nerd shit.
That's why I like it, honestly.
Okay.
That's my. I do listen to both, but we might be drunk. Y'all start talking about people's bits, and I love that.
Oh,
That's my shit.
You're the one, because
Yeah,
it gets real. It's
You
real
worry about
inside.
that?
I do, yeah, because me and Sam are just comedy nerd psychos, and we wrote together for 10 years and all this. Now we're writing a movie. It's a whole thing, but
Yeah.
we get drunk on this show, and then you just want to talk comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, in the beginning, we have to keep it a little, like, surface level. Hey, how was your weekend? What's your wife up to? Are you still gay? All right. How about Biden? Huh? He fell down. You know, Trump's in jail, whatever. And then you're like, you get 2 cocktails, and you're like, oh, did you see that Nick Mullen special or whatever, you know? And it all comes out.
Yeah. By the way, probably one of my top favorite. We talked about
Year
this.
of the Dragon.
Yeah.
So good.
Very good.
Yeah, so good.
So good.
Nick Mullen, funny guy.
And y'all have released Bodega Cat, which is I've killed a bottle. It's great.
Thank you.
A beautiful whiskey.
It's a hell of a rye. I appreciate it. We're trying to get into bars, and that's basically what the movie's about. Is about trying to sell this whiskey.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
a little sneak peek for the folks at home.
Is it it's not like a biography or not a doc or something, huh?
No, it's just a comedy. It's like an
Got
80s throwback raunchy comedy, but with us as the
Here's the title: Catcher in the Rye.
Ooh, not bad, not bad.
Wait, Bottom in the Rye.
Hey,
There we go.
It's better than all the rye moves.
Ooh. Is that the working title? 'Cause that's
No,
not
I just
good.
thought of that.
You've got the rye one, baby.
Yeah,
I like it. Let the rye one in.
Hey,
Little vampire.
You're a rye sexual.
Oh, and rye? No. What?
Wait, what?
Oh boy.
Mark, I got to tell you a story.
Schindler's Rye. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That
Whenever.
doesn't even match up.
I know that's
All right. I gotta tell a quick Mark Norman story.
Uh-oh.
Mark did something before we ever met. I tell people this all the time. It's like one of my like go-to stories.
Is this when I banged your mom?
No, this was later.
All right.
It was a bunch of comedians in New Orleans for no particular reason show at Tipitina's.
Oh yes.
For your bachelor party.
For the wedding.
Right, the
pre-wedding,
wedding.
Yeah.
So at one point before the show started, you had come out of the green room and grabbed JP. I was with JP, by the way. You had grabbed JP and was like, "Hey, come on back. Joe's back there. You know, Sean's back there. Come say hello." And JP like gestures over to me and goes, "Hey, I'm with my friend." And you literally you do this. You like look at me and you're like,
Well, in my defense, I thought you were Kevin James. And I was like, I don't know about this guy.
And guess what? I left him and I went backstage.
I took a sad selfie and I was like, JP's hanging with his New York friends. No,
Survival of the fattest.
I
buddy.
tell that story all the time.
Oh, sorry. Well, hey, next time you're
Yeah.
coming in there.
Easy, but yeah.
the I think the more fun one though, and you may not remember this, you were pretty drunk, was at Skankfest this year. You had come up to the roulette table.
Yes.
And I was sitting down and I had a big stack of chips, and you were like, "Man, where did you get all those chips from?" And I jokingly said, "I got a system." And you stood behind me, sat next to me, played roulette, and everybody that came up, you were like, "This guy's got a system."
It was a bag of Doritos. Those are the chips. But no,
It was Ozempic.
yeah.
Purple Doritos
I remember
are
that.
my
I
weakness.
think
You do?
the Are You Garbage guys might have been there.
I think they were like, yeah.
That was a late night.
Yeah.
Too. Well, that's the problem with the Skankfest, which was awesome. I mean, it was so fun, but you're staying in a casino. So you go out all night, you hit a strip club, then you hit a bar, and then you go home. You're like, all right, I'm being a good boy. I'm going home. Oh, there's a craps
Yeah.
table in my living room. So you had to gamble all night.
Yeah, I loved it because what ended up happening was like you were, like a lot of comedians were walking up to you wanting to talk to you, and you just kept going like, "Hey, have you met this guy?" And you're like pawning them off on me.
Get it off me.
And I got to meet a lot of people that way.
Oh,
so
great.
It was great.
Well, you must have been way up. You were cleaning up on
Yeah,
chips.
it was. Well, what it was you had $5 chips and I had $1 chips, but they didn't look that different. But you didn't know. You thought I had $5 chips, so you kept going, "This guy's got a system."
Yeah.
I was just like, I had a $100 buy-in. I was working with.
System of a Downs.
Oh,
All right, babe. All right, it's good. It's commercial.
The pun gun is out today.
All right, so we've talked about this before, never on the podcast. This is our first podcast, but you live in New Orleans. You live in Baton Rouge, right? Did you live in Baton Rouge?
I did.
Yeah. And then your first time doing an open mic was in Lafayette.
Yep.
307 Jazz and Blues Club.
Yep.
R.I.P. And
Club
then,
307?
Huh?
That was Club 307?
Yeah, 307 Jazz and Blues Club. And then that was your first time. And so So let's bring
Was that
back
an open
to,
mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was open mic. Yeah.
Who was running comedy back then in Lafayette?
I remember the guy's look. I can't remember his name. He was a super skinny, wiggery guy. Like skinny, had glasses, long hair.
So there was DJ Special Ed, or AKA Handsome Lance.
Maybe.
Any
I
Big
don't know.
Ern
And then
Boudreaux?
I remember
Ern
those
Boudreaux,
names.
Trevor Chapman.
Trevor Chapman.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like you, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, you'd be like, is this
That
comedy?
wasn't him then. He
Yeah.
didn't look like me.
Nah.
He was a little ratty kind of guy, but I still remember that night. I was so nervous. I chugged a bunch of vodka, and I remember we did a pre-mic huddle. Like, all right, everybody, this is how it's going to go. You put your name in a bucket or whatever. They pulled the name. You're going to go first, second. The guy had a clipboard. And I remember loving it instantly. Like, this is great. Oh, my God, I'm on part of something. And I got to pick fifth or something. Good spot. Supposed to do 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I've told the story before, but they lit me. I didn't know what a light was. So I
As
just...
many of our comics don't.
Yeah,
that's fine.
that's true. But I'm white. And I was just like, oh, there's a guy. I thought it was like a Van Halen thing with like a lighter. I was like, oh, I'm killing. And then they cut my mic. And I was like, well, hey, the show must go on. I got to be a professional. So I just started screaming my bit. And then the guy is at the side of the stage like, get the fuck off the stage. And I was like, oh, geez, all right. And I got off.
And look at you now.
Yeah. No one told me the rules.
So you were living in Baton Rouge at the time?
Mm-hmm.
And then what did you do after that? Was there anything in Baton Rouge at the time?
There was a show or a mic at a place downtown that I forgot about. We did the station.
That's still going on.
Is that still
we
going?
do it. I
Still?
did it last Wednesday.
Get out of that was a great room.
It still is.
We're bringing Stone versus Drunk versus Sober in January
Yeah.
to the station.
Hell yeah.
January
it's
12th
still going.
or something like that.
That was a hot
okay.
one. There was a
In
place
January, yeah.
place on Governor Street behind a record store. I don't know if that's still going, but the station was hot. We would drive to Lafayette. We'd drive to Lucy's Surfer Bar in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Then I eventually moved to New Orleans and started doing more shows there. La Nuit, all those shows. But the station was hot.
I remember the downfall of La Nuit.
Oh, yeah.
That was right when I started, and then they had like a whole... They used to have a comedy festival, and they had a whole, like...
Yeah.
They lost it, though.
Who were some of the New Orleans comedians?
Oh, man, we had a good
Was Sean
group.
Patton there yet?
We had Sean Patton was like the guy.
Awesome.
But every now and then you got a Theo sighting.
Theo, all
When
right.
Theo was on Road Rules, so it was like TV. We're all just working bar
Yeah.
comics. He had been on TV, and that was like, oh shit! It was like Elvis. Theo's here, and he always had a hot lady with him, and he had an act. Like he would go up. I remember one of his jokes. I hope he's not gonna get mad at this.
We're tagging them, but go ahead.
But he goes, yeah, I was a little sick the other day. My buddy goes, hey, you're a little under the weather, and he was like, aren't we all under the weather? And I remember being like, this guy's a genius,
What happened to Theo?
He did pretty well for himself,
Okay, all
actually.
right.
He's doing great. He's famous and rich. He's doing
What a
quite
queef.
well. His hair got longer. But yeah,
Just
so
in the back.
just the back, yeah. Just the back, ma'am. But yeah, so that was then we all moved to New York.
All right, so that kind of leads us to the next thing. So this is called We're Dying Down Here. So me and Tyler, we're doing comedy in a non-comedy place. We're the only time we really get to shines when people come through. People are bringing the DoubleTree and all that.
Who haven't you had? I mean, it's like Kyle Kinane, Nate Bargatze, Tom Segura,
Todd Barry.
You want me to name
Todd
them?
Barry. No, I mean, I'm
No,
just
no, I'll
Eddie
name him.
He does this
Pepitone.
every episode. Please don't let him.
Let's call them out.
No, he doesn't.
I've
Just
never
give
had
me the big ones.
that I've never had.
Oh, never had. I'm talking about
you've
you've had.
No, I'm tagging them in this. I'm trying to get them
Okay.
here,
David Tell.
Well,
I
yeah,
want Dan
that's-
Soder. Can we get Dan
Soder.
We'll get Soder in
We
there.
need Soder.
Big J,
Oh,
Well, he'll do it.
oh, fuck.
Chad Daniels,
He would do it.
Sam Morrell. He won't do it anymore.
He's too big.
He's getting pretty big. And not a lot of Jew love down in Lafayette.
Not a lot of Jew hate either because they're not
Yeah,
there.
that's
you
true,
know?
that's
It's-
true.
You
It's
can't
like
hate something that don't exist.
Yeah,
So
it's a
Wow.
catch-22.
20 Jew. Anyway. All right. Thank
Now
you.
we're fucking podcasting.
Now we're killing it, dude.
Yeah.
Roll the tape. We call this podcast "We're Dying Down Here," and it's basically like, play on you're dying on stage, but like this is our existence. Tyler has a kid. He's got a job. I have 2 kids and a wife and a job, and unless we uproot, this is our reality of trying to do comedy in a non-comedy town and everything. So for you, when did you decide to make the move from New Orleans to New York? When did you decide, like, this is it, in order to bring it to the next level, I had to do that?
Well, I was hanging out with Zach Sims, Neil Stasny, and Sean Patton had already made the move.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Get your asses up here. If you really want to go for it, you know, New Orleans. Let's be honest, there's a ceiling. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get from here to here, so you got to get out."
It's a FEMA tent, but go ahead.
Yeah, and so I've always wanted to live there, and I went to film school in New York for 10 minutes. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll go back up there." I'll go to my film school and ask to get a job because I knew everybody there. Got a shitty apartment in Crown Heights, Brooklyn, which is way out. Got mugged 3 times. Worked at the film school and did open mics all day, every day. And that was it.
What was the point that you're like were you at a point where, like, this is it for me, this is my ceiling in New Orleans? Or were you kind of like, let's just...
Well, there's a thing in life where, well, first of all, I feel like I exacerbated. Is that the word?
That sounds good.
I felt like I exacerbated the whole state of Louisiana. I drove here, I drove there, I go to Lafayette, I go to Baton Rouge, I go back to New Orleans, I go to Monroe, whatever it was. You go to Houston for a gig, you know. And I feel like I worked that whole area, and I was like, I've done it. What else is out there? So I had to move to New York. I've always wanted to live in New York. And I wanted to go for it, and I think this is something that young people should know. It's good to have nothing going on in your life. Like, my back was against the cliff. I was a loser. I had no prospect. I had failed out of 3 colleges. My parents were like, you're hopeless. I was rudderless. I had nothing going on. So when I found something I actually enjoyed and cared about, I said, I'm going all in. I got nothing else to live for. Comedy's something, and I went for it. And that's why I went to New York.
Damn.
Because even if you fail in New York, at least you're in New York.
Yeah.
I'm failing. I work in a shitty cubicle. I'm doing open mics at night. I'm bombing. I have no money. But I could be living at my parents' house. So I figure this is better than that.
And pizza.
And you got the pizza.
Were you ever close to coming back?
No, I never.
Not even close.
That never even crossed my mind.
Good.
Like this quitting thing.
Good.
I was like, I'll just keep going. Because even if you're a non-working comedian, like a what do you call it? Well, you're living only off comedy. You're still having a day job and doing comedy.
Yeah.
Which is better than just having a day job.
Yeah. So when did you move there? What year?
06.
And then...
Wait, 07.
07, after Katrina and everything. So when did you... How long did it take you before you started getting, like I'm calling showcases, book shows?
Ooh, it took a while. I had to do a lot of finagling. Like clubs, it's so hard to break into clubs. So one move I did was I told a club, hey, I'm doing a Letterman set. This is how long ago this was. I'm doing a Letterman set, so can I run 5? And the club was like, oh, this guy's about to be on Letterman. That's TV credit. Yeah, we'll let you run 5. And I lied. I had no Letterman connection. But I got on and I did my 5, and at that point my 5 was cooking. That's all I had was 5. And so they were like, oh, this guy's about to do Letterman. He had a good 5. We'll just pass him. So that was one way I got passed.
What club was that?
That was Stand Up New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which is not what it used to be. But, you know, these clubs go in and out of
Yeah.
business kind of thing. But, yeah, so now I'm in one club. Now you're in one club, so you can go to another club and go, hey, I'm in at Stand Up New York. How do I get in here? Blah, blah, blah. And then you get 1 credit. I got on Conan. That was huge. I was 29 years old.
You did Conan, what, like
9 times.
9 times, okay.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was the first one. He had me on every year after that.
Crazy.
So, yeah. Just work. It's all incremental little steps. You know, it's almost like, you know, when you see a kid and he's got the notches on the door jamb for how tall he's getting? That's what comedy felt like. You don't feel like you're getting taller, but you are. You just got to keep going.
What was your next break after that?
Conan, and then I started opening for Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
I was a janitor, so I felt like Clark Kent. You know,
Oh
I'm
my
mopping
God.
floors, I'm cleaning toilet bowls, literally toilet bowls, and then at night I'm doing these big rooms with her.
You just put a bomber jacket on at night and you transform into a comedian.
That's what it felt like. Like I go into the phone
Eyeshadow.
booth and
Yeah. A little dark eyeshadow like a goth. and
yeah. I transitioned.
Which I
and-
saw you with her at the Singer, which
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know if I was doing comedy then. Like it
Wow,
was.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was
New
great.
Orleans.
We also did the Mahalia Jackson. Hannibal opened.
Oh, I didn't see
Theo
that.
did a guest set. I
Jesus.
middled, and then she went on.
Never heard of any of these people.
Wow.
So what was the next step, the progression after that? When did you, well, like, let's talk about when you got past, like, the Cellars, the Mecca in New Orleans, and in New York. When did you get past there?
Eventually, she got me in at the Cellar after a couple of years of opening for her. I never asked. She did it on her own, which I really appreciate. And then once you're into the Cellar, you're like, all right, now I'm working every night, all night. And then you get a little road stuff here. And to me, the key is getting on the road.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get in the Cellar or wants to, like, conquer New York. New York's great, but I think you got to use New York to build material, and I think you got to get out on the road to the real people. Because I see New York comics who are killers, and then you put them in Cleveland, and they bomb. So you got to be able to adapt.
Is it just because they're not doing comedy for real people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's a lot of, like, I'm half bi and part Egyptian, and people in Columbus, Ohio are like, we don't care.
Man,
Why
I've
is that
seen
funny?
that. I saw that at the Riot in Houston, as a matter of fact. There were 2 New York comedians doing guest sets up top, and they were I don't even remember their names, but they just came in, and it was very New York comedy, and the room was not having it.
Yeah.
And I got in right after them, and I just lit the place on fire, and they were like, how did you do? They didn't even watch my set. They were just like, how did you do? And I was like, this was great room. They were just bitching the whole time.
I'm
and
by
I was like, this
Gibson.
is the best.
Yeah.
This is one of the best rooms in the South.
There you go. Well, New York's all about, this is who I am, and I feel like on the road it's all about, like, this is what you want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like New York comics, a lot of them are like, this is my story, this is my identity, and the crowd in
Poughkeepsie.
Knoxville or whatever, they just want, like, we just want to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care about you unless you are funny.
So when you started doing the road, did you have any representation, or was it just you kind of booking yourself? Like when you were doing steady weekends?
Well, eventually I would send out tapes, like VHS tapes, and eventually I got a manager, and a manager led to an agent, and then so on and so on. And these are rough gigs. I'm talking like Bonkers with a Z, Looney Bins.
We literally do Bonkers.
Oh, really?
Both of us have done Bonkers
great.
recently.
Well, you should.
They just started a
a
thing at casinos. So like
Yeah.
I did the very first Bonkers with Tommy T. Ray Bergeron. Shout out.
There you go.
With your shirt. We did the very first one at La Berge in Baton Rouge, and then there's one like they kind of go into casinos. It's like a weekly show, and then Tyler just did one with Josh Watts
at
huge piece of
Boomtown
shit.
Casino
At Boomtown in New Orleans. Yeah,
Nice.
but like they're kind of coming into the mix now. But yeah, they're just booking all over. But
It was a clean show. I have to like kind of eat crow because I bitched about this, so I was like, I'm fucking clean.
It's always eating with you.
I don't want.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
All right,
Please.
pull it up, J-Mo. No, sorry, wrong
Fucking
podcast.
cheers. Don't be sorry. No, it's all like I just bitched so much about having to work clean. I was like,
It's
I can't
hard.
believe I don't want to do this. But then like I just did it and it was fine.
Yeah.
Like, I did well, and like afterward I was like, well, I feel silly now for bitching so much.
And it's a good challenge. Like
It
you're
is,
like, let's see if I can do it.
yeah, gotta eat some crow.
So how much time did you do clean?
15.
That's impressive.
Yeah, because I have about another 20 or 30 that's not. So
The
it was like
opposite.
it was crazy. I found every little nugget of clean material I had and pieced it together.
Good for you, because like I opened for Seinfeld and I had to pull together like a couple albums. Like I'll do that
Jesus.
joke, I'll do that joke, because clean doesn't just mean no cursing, no sex. It's like content. Like, you can't be like so.
See, I got lucky there.
Brian
Oh,
Regan's
really?
like no religion, no politics.
Yeah,
No
it
gay.
wasn't that
No
clean.
gay,
This was
yeah.
more. This was described as PG-13, no F words.
Okay, got it.
No F words and no pussy, which hurts me so much because I say
Right.
pussy so much.
Yeah.
So right before COVID, I had to do 15 clean with Jim Brewer at the Hard Rock in Biloxi. And I was like, how do I just call dicks wieners? And I was just like, what do I do? Like, that's a big part of this joke, And it was the horriblest thing.
It kind of
but it was
makes
fun.
you get creative.
Yeah.
Because
No,
you can't
totally.
say dicks, you got to say wee wee or something.
Yeah.
And wee wee's kind of funnier than dick.
I say it's my bird.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Bird works.
Bird? Bird's the word.
Works the word.
Bird Kreischer.
Jesus Christ. Tagging him.
Larry Bird Kreischer.
And then so you went to a weekend headliner, and then
I mean, I featured for a while.
Featured for a while, yeah.
But yeah, then you moved to headliner.
Then a headliner, and then let's talk about the jump to theaters, which you're at now,
Yeah.
which is huge. Like,
I never thought it would happen.
What was your first theater headliner gig?
I think I did I forgot the Agora in Cleveland. First theater I ever did, and it's such a weird jump because theaters are so different. There's no check spot. There's no chicken wings. They're there to see you. I did a bunch of papered rooms at Funny Bones all over the country, so they're like, it's just a family with a camo hat and a fat wife. Like, who's this? He better be good. And they're eating like a full steak in there, and you got to like appeal to everyone, which I think every comic should kind of do. Like, that's why these bonkers gigs, they're a bitch, they're tough, but if you learn how to appeal to everyone, I think that's the biggest skill in comedy. That's the best tool in your tool belt. Because we all want to be ourselves, but if you can learn how to get strangers and be you, you've won the game.
Yeah, I always feel like it's short-sighted when people like take this like I'm too good of an artist approach. Like I want to make half the room laugh and half the room upset with me.
Yeah.
What
I
the
hate
fuck
that.
are you talking about?
Totally.
No.
But like
man.
a Tarantino movie, you watch Pulp Fiction, everybody loves Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie. It's so him. It's he could only write that movie, but we all like it.
Yeah.
And that's the key. Is like making it accessible to everyone, but also you got to be you.
Yeah. So now you're doing theaters. What's the next step for you? Like you got the specials. You got Out to Lunch, that was on YouTube. You got Soup to Nuts, that's on Netflix. Which, by the way, like congratulations, because like Netflix almost kind of stopped doing stand up for a while. It felt like,
Totally.
Yeah, but now they're back.
Now they're back.
Now
with
they're
vengeance. They're giving everybody what's special now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So what's the next step for you? Like, what do you?
well, that's the thing. People keep asking me that, and I love this level. That's the hard part. Like, people are like, what's next? I'm like, I'd like to just stay here for 10 years if I could.
So I know you did the tour with Bert. How, like, what's that feel like doing arenas, stadiums?
Oh, it's insane. Well, that's the cool part about this spot I'm in is like I'm friends with Bert, I'm friends with Rogan, I'm friends with Louis, I'm friends with all these Seinfeld. I can like jump in and out of these amazing opportunities. So the Fully Loaded is just pure fun.
Yeah.
Bert sells the tickets. Bert books everything. He brings the truck. He brings the food. He brings the slip and slide and the beer. And I just get on the bus, do my show, get drunk, and sleep. So it's fucking great. But the arenas, I get to do 20 minutes. You just bring the heat,
Jesus.
A game. You get to rip it open, and it's like you, Stavros, Chad Daniels, Ralph Barboza, Andrew Santino, Big J. Just a great group, and it's just the best. It's a hell of a time. But arenas are fun to... I would never want to sell one because I don't think I ever could. But just to jump in, do your 20, and get out, nothing better.
It's amazing.
We saw Bert at Cajun Dome.
There you go.
It's like 5,500, 6,000 people maybe.
Yeah.
Mark Smalls and Shane Torres opened for him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
nice.
killer.
Love Shane.
So good.
I
Shout
was
out to
actually
Shane
surprised. I feel like both of us were.
Yeah.
We didn't necessarily weren't the biggest fans of Bert's comedy. Not that we weren't. It's just that, if I'm making a top 5, Bert wasn't on it.
Sure.
But like I walked out of there I felt like we got every bit of that show.
He puts on a show,
Dude,
and he's
incredible.
So good.
Not everybody's made for an arena,
Right.
And he's big enough
Yes.
to
He was big enough.
bring
yeah,
it all
totally.
together.
And Shane Torres, shout out to him. One of my favorites, and his new special out, which is produced by Bert, which is amazing.
Blue-eyed Mexican.
Oh,
yeah,
very funny.
So good, man. So
Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bert's incredible because you forget he's like a 30-year vet. Like he did New York, he did L.A., he did the clubs, he did
used
the
to do
road.
comedy skinny at one time.
Yeah. And now
With his
he's
shirt
back.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's back to skinny, which is weird. But either way, we would be in a parking lot doing something before the show, and his daughter got hit by a car on accident and like fell over, and she was fine. But he headlined at this. First of all, this 8 comics doing 20 minutes, and then Bert.
Jesus Christ.
And he's drinking, you know, and then he would go on and he talked about his daughter getting hit by a car and it's killing. And I'm like, this guy just opened with random bullshit that happened today in an arena and it's murdering.
That's like when you get to we were talking about it earlier, when you get to a level where it's just stories and it's just like no matter what you say, it's going to kill because everyone's there for you.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but no, I mean, like, we both left there and we were just like, holy shit, that was amazing.
He puts on a show.
Yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I know you got a flight to catch, like, in a couple hours. Anything, any plugs, anything you want to say?
I'd like to hear who you think the most underrated, underappreciated comedian is. Maybe not one, maybe a couple if you don't want to just list one. Who do you think?
Anyone not in the room.
Yeah.
All right,
who do you think is underappreciated?
Well, I think Chad Daniels is like this hidden gem.
That's one of his favorites.
Oh, really?
Like legend, top 2, top 3 comedians is him.
Yeah.
Just put out an hour on YouTube. I don't know if you saw it.
And he's recording another one.
I heard. He's
like,
got
it's
so
dumb.
much.
Well, he recorded 2 that night.
Yeah.
And then now he's got another one. It's ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you about that second hour. I got a surprise for you.
Oh,
But yeah, he's just so good. He's like this weird assassin who lives in the woods, and they have to call him like, "We need you."
I love that.
He's got a lake house.
Yeah,
like he's what we talk about. Like you live in a place that's not comedy.
Yep.
You fly out on the weekends.
That's it. Yeah, that's the dream.
You come back. You got Monday through Thursday.
That's the dream.
Yeah,
2 kids.
Where does he work out?
I think in Minneapolis.
Probably a Planet
That's
Fitness.
the dream. Like, well, this sounds gross.
I liked it.
Thank you.
I didn't catch it until a second ago.
That's how smooth it was.
Yeah.
It's like your jokes. No one catches them.
Yeah. It's like my set tonight. Thank you. No.
But yeah, Chad Daniels is great. I think Kyle Kinane has got some. Obviously, he's got a fan base, but I think he's. I don't know why he's not huge.
Right.
He should be way bigger.
Yeah.
Then there's.
I own 4 of his shirts.
Oh well, there you go.
My old profile picture was me and my dog, and we each wearing a different of his shirts.
That's
like,
fun.
Kinane's my best.
Well, that's a little creepy, but yeah, no. But then you got
female
like
dog, but
guys like Anthony DeVito or
so good.
so good. There's a guy in New York named Sean Murphy.
so good.
Yeah, this guy Chris Allen is very funny. There's a bunch of funny guys out there or gals.
Yeah.
You know, like Maddie Weiner is great, and you'll see more of her.
Caitlin Palufo, shout out again.
Palufo is a killer.
Caitlin.
Yeah,
Beast.
there's a lot, but that's what's great about the internet. It's finally these funny people who, you know, are struggling a little or can put it all out there to the world. So, you know, it's hard to bitch now as a comic. Like, oh, they'll never find me and no one notices me. It's
Right.
like, well, just YouTube's right there.
Yeah, people like I'm always surprised that like when I find a new comedian and I go look at their YouTube and they have like 600,000 subscribers. Like Ryan Long, he's somebody. I love Ryan Long, but I just discovered him. And I don't
really?
understand how.
See, he's been around for
He's-
years.
He's got 500, 600,000 YouTube
Well, like-
subscribers. I've never heard of him till this year.
That's hilarious.
Will Foskey middle last
Yeah,
night.
there's another
His
one.
special has 600,000+ on YouTube, and we're like,
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
Like, what did you hack? Was it the Russians? I don't know. But
well, if it's good, it's
yeah,
good.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Oh,
he's
Louis
killer
Katz. Louis Katz is a
Yeah.
funny comic. He's got almost 1 million views on his YouTube.
dude. Yeah, one of my favorites.
So yeah, a lot of underappreciated comics out there, but they'll pop. Everyone gets if it's good, it'll rise. The cream.
I agree. Yeah,
Cool.
the cream always rises to the
All right,
top.
he's doing
Yeah,
Macho
sorry.
Man again.
I like
Sorry.
that. That was great.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for having us. I enjoyed the last 2 nights. It was amazing. marknormandcomedy.com.
Yeah, for tickets.
For tickets, all that, Punch Up Live.
Yeah, we might be drunk. Tuesdays with Stories.
Tuesday with
Soup
Stories.
to
Shout out
Nuts.
to Joe List. The only podcast I religiously listen to is Tuesdays.
Wow.
I'm a Tuesday. It goes back. Just y'all, 2 of my favorite comedians. Joe List is great. You're great. My favorite podcast in the world. One of the only
Damn,
Patreons I
look.
subscribe to.
Every
Wow.
time
You know?
time he works with you or Joe too, he like obsesses over whether y'all are going to mention him on that podcast or not. No, I'm joking.
And you
I'm
always
joking.
do.
He
I
doesn't
mean-
actually obsess over it, but when it happens, it's like we're all cheering, like
Yeah.
we're JP Lafayette comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like sleeping with a chick. She's like, well, I slept with Jason. It was pretty good. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Well, no one said that.
I just-
But, you know.
Stop lying.
All right.
You need your 15 minutes of fame. I just need 4 inches of fame. So that's, all right, follow me. So Mark Norman, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We love you. You're
Well,
gay. And
Good to be
else.
here. Thanks for having. Let's leave the cameras running. We got the bed right here.
Oh boy.
We can go right into a whole nother video.
All right.
2 bears and 1 twink.
Beautiful.
That's it. We're done down here. Good night. Thank you.
Comedy.